Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Josh Culbreth.
Welcome back to News Watch 12 this morning. We're continuing to track this atmospheric river that is now along the coastline in Oregon and California, and all of this heavy rain continues to move inland. We'll continue to track it throughout the rest of this morning. Well, let's go ahead and show you what happens to all of this a little bit later today. We stopped this right around lunchtime, and at this point it's going to be a pretty widespread affair across the News Watch 12 viewing area. Now, once we get into the evening, we'll start to see a gradual clearing of the rain and the clouds temporarily, but here comes that next round of showers as we head into Tuesday, and this time it's looking pretty widespread throughout the course of the day. And at this point, snow levels are going to start to fall to around 6,000, 7,000 feet. Could have maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow up towards Crater Lake, but I think that's going to be pretty confined to those highest elevations. The rest of us will just have to deal with the rain, and we'll have to deal with the winds as well. But let's talk about the rain first, as over the next 48 hours, we could have upwards of 2 to 2.5 inches along the coast and up in the coastal ranges, maybe upwards of an inch or an inch and a half for the Cascades, and then definitely much less for inland valleys and for areas to the east of the Cascades. So for today, widespread rain. Also, the winds are going to be pretty blustery. They'll gust out of the south and west between 30 to 50 miles per hour, with some of the fastest wind gusts being in central and eastern Lake County. Keep in mind that we still have that wind advisory that's in place from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then for tonight, it's looking like we're temporarily going to get a break, at least for inland spots, but along the coast we'll still have a little bit of rain. But for inland spots, it'll be mostly cloudy, and winds will still be blustery. They could gust upwards of 25 miles per hour for areas to the east of the Cascades and up in the Cascades proper. So today is going to be pretty wet. Tomorrow is going to be pretty wet. We will be just a smidge drier into Wednesday, and then looking much drier for Thursday and Friday before we have more wet weather to deal with over the weekend. And things are going to be very cool for this week, especially when you compare it to average high temperatures, especially for this little stretch of days from Monday through Wednesday. A little bit warmer after that, but still it's going to feel and look pretty fall-like out there for this week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the coast. We'll be tracking obviously some very wet weather over the next few days, and then a little bit drier for Thursday, and then we start to ramp back up the rain chances starting on Friday. For Siskiyou County, very wet over the next 48 hours, especially much drier by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, looking pretty dry, and then small shower chances returning for the weekend. For the basin, very windy for today, again, especially for central and eastern Lake County, but more winds in the forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. Look how cold we're supposed to get by Thursday morning, dropping down to near 30 degrees. So I have a feeling that we might see some freeze warnings or frost advisories at the very least. Snow levels getting down to around 7,000 feet by the time we get to Tuesday into Wednesday. So could have a couple inches of snow up in the Cascades, specifically up towards Crater Lake. And then for the Rogue Valley, very wet over the next couple of days, a little bit drier by Wednesday, then completely dry by Thursday and Friday.